Cherished viewers and those who may be listening to our podcast series, welcome to the Periscope Horizon chat room. Your host, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Jifa-Mensah-Lakai, noted in her book entitled Fearless, Fabulous and Flamboyant, the importance of recognizing and celebrating our different milestones attained in our quest to realize our dreams in life. The journey into becoming the best version of yourself comes with struggles, challenges, and sometimes the feeling of giving up is so strong. Periscope Horizon is here to encourage and support you to never give up. You have it in you to do exceedingly, abundantly, and above all you could ever dream of or imagine. Stay connected right here. Let's listen to the experiences of others, learn lessons from them, be inspired to do more, and together, let's keep scaling higher heights.
Hello, cherished viewers and listeners. Welcome once again to the Periscope Horizon chat room series. This, as you know, is the second season, and we have started engaging our guests to come your way with their inspirational stories, as well as educate us on the things that they are doing and how that can be of benefit to us, especially in this current era we find ourselves. I have in the studio today our guest who is going to help us understand a lot more about our mental wellness, how we can boost our mental wellness, and also understand cyberbullying and how that can impact our lives. I want to bring into the studio Jessica Owoo, and I will let her tell us more about herself. Welcome, Jessica. It is good to see you. I love that smile.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you.
So, you are with us tonight, and we are going to be talking about cyber bullying, mental wellness, and cyber bullying. And so, before we launch into the discussion, I want you to tell our audience a little bit about who you are. Who is Jessica Owoo? Let's hear from
Yes.
you.
Thank you, Patricia, for bringing me on board this evening to have this discussion. And my name, as you've already mentioned, Jessica Owoo. I'm the third girl amongst four siblings, and I did my mental health schooling at Ankafo about 12 years ago, but I started practicing just 4 years ago. Yes, it's been a long journey. Growing up, I have always wanted to be a nurse, but along the line, things didn't go the way I wanted them to be. But I never lost hope. I still persevered because I had a mental picture of what I wanted to be and who I wanted to become. So I still persisted and I was relentless, I was resilient, and I went through all that I went through. And today I am where I am, where you found me.
Wow. And I
Yeah,
love what you said in terms of things that didn't go the way you had planned. However,
yeah,
you persevered and you were relentless. And I believe
yeah,
you did what you could do within your power so that you would
yeah.
be in a position of comfort and fulfillment. So, would you say that the mental picture you had of yourself was to be in the mental wellness area when it comes to nursing, or you had initially envisioned being a nurse in a different area?
Well, if I should start the story of me becoming a mental health nurse, I think it will take all the time that we have to finish this interview. But the little I can say is that um, initially I just wanted to be a general nurse. I didn't have any interest in mental health at all. But then I received a strange call one day, one Saturday morning around 7 a.m. I received a strange call from a man who said that I'm his patient. So he's looking for Jessica. And I said, okay, I'm Jessica. And I asked him, where did I become his patient? And he said, from Kolebu. And I said, no, when I'm sick, I don't even go to Kolebu. So I don't know what he's talking about. And he said, it's you I'm referring to, is you, Jessica, I'm looking for. And I was also polite and nice on the phone and I listened. So the next question he asked me was, what do you want to become? And I said, I want to be a nurse. And he said, have you bought your forms? I said, no. He said, okay, this is my number. I'll call you again. So I saved, he didn't ask me to save the contact though. So I saved it. It was around February in 2008. So he called me around May when I had bought the forms and taken it to the school I wanted to go to. And he called me back and asked me, the forms are out. Have you bought your forms? And I said, yes, I have. So he asked me which school, and I mentioned the school I wanted to attend. And he said, no, that's not where you are supposed to go. You are supposed to do mental health. And I was like, who is this man to come and be dictating to me what I should do? And he said, yes, you have to do mental health, but we will see about that. The next thing I knew, Ankafo had called me for an interview that I should come for an interview. So I went. But the day before I had to go for the interview, he called me and he lectured me on how things goes with the interview. And all this while, I met him once. He asked me to meet him once. And when I met him, he was not someone I had seen anywhere. The name he told me he said he's called Dr. Charles. And in my life, I didn't know anyone called Dr. Charles.
Dr. Charles.
So when I met him, I honestly didn't, I had no idea who he was. Then he said, yes, you are the one I'm looking for. So
So,
you,
as you're talking, I'm just remembering something one of my very senior mentors, or those that I look up to when it comes to
yeah,
public speaking. And that is over to you, Joe Latte. And anytime he calls me and we have a conversation and something pops up, he would just say, Patricia, this is divine order. This is divine
yes,
order. It was meant to
yes,
happen like this. And I
yes,
mean, I was meant to, call you at this time and etc. etc. So I think that indeed, this is your example of divine order, and
sure,
it was
yes,
being orchestrated somehow to help
yes,
you actually position yourself here. And tonight we are
yes,
honored to be able to glean from all of your experiences. So I want
yes.
you to first of all help our audience understand the difference between our mental health and then our mental well-being, because we hear these words a lot. Are they the same or is there a difference?
Yes, thank you. When we talk about your mental health, it's being in a state of balance, being able to make informed choices for yourself, being in a state of wellness, being conscious about who you are, the decisions you make, how they impact in your life, how either negatively or positively. That's when we talk about your mental health. If you are in a good mental state, you are able to make informed choices for yourself. And when it comes to the mental well-being, you are in a state, in a state of being, whether you are okay or you are well or you are unwell, or with your when it comes to um mental well-being goes beyond just the state of the mind. It goes with your nutrition, your daily activities, your daily interactions, and everything that comes together with it to make a person a complete being.
Wow. Now we want to gradually go into our topic for tonight: mental well being and cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Especially in this period we find ourselves, whether it's moms or dads or the children, or even for those who may be either single parenting or probably just giving caring for nieces, nephews, etc. in the household. How can we help ensure our mental health as far as the usage of the internet is concerned, or as far as our interactions in the cyber world is concerned?
Yes, thank you. When we talk about cyberbullying, it's people using the internet or using technology in a way to threaten people, to make them feel less of themselves, to make them lose their self-esteem, their self-respect, and also to put fear in them. When we talk about bullying in the actual sense, it's when you meet the person face to face and the person is able to use their strength or their position or wherever they find themselves to intimidate you and make you feel that they have more power than you do. But when it comes to the internet, people hide behind technology and then throw their threats, their words or things that may make you feel less of yourself at you without you knowing specifically who is behind that conversation or whatever is being thrown at you. And
Okay.
when it goes like that, teenagers and people of influence in the society are mostly affected, because now we are in a world of what do I say, technology, where the whole world is in our palm. Sometimes you might be in Ghana, but the person bullying you might be in Europe or elsewhere. And these are things that we have less control over. But it depends on the individual to know how, the more you respond to a bully on the internet, the more they go at it. So it's about we being conscious and finding out or getting to know that this is a bully, or this situation is someone trying to bully you, or you being bullied. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, again, as adults in the household, how can we easily identify the, the 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 signs or the symptoms that our children, for instance, or other adults in the house may exhibit if they are being cyberbullied? How can we easily identify these? Are there clear-cut signs to let us know that our kids or other adults in the household are being cyberbullied?
Well, when it comes to kids who are being bullied on the internet, mostly you see that they get withdrawn. They get withdrawn and they keep to themselves instead of being outspoken and being fun loving, or um, trying to mingle with their siblings and their peers and their colleagues and having fun. Mostly you see that they become withdrawn. They keep to themselves. They don't really speak much about things that they are going through. So if you're a parent, you're a guardian, or whoever is in charge of these children, when you see some of these signs, you should be able to, they become irritable. You should be able to ask them, have a conversation, an open conversation with them about what you have noticed in their behavior, so that you'll be able to guide them guide them on what they are supposed to do when they encounter. And our language in finding out what they are going through is very important. It shouldn't be accusing because it's already happened. We have to find our voices in a cool, calm manner to be able to get the information we need from them, so that when it's expressed, we take actions from there.
Okay, so in the case of school, I mean, some students or some schools have begun virtual classrooms, the use of virtual classrooms. And
Yes.
we know how sometimes these technological tools can have their pros and then their cons. All right. Even adults, sometimes you may find yourself in a Zoom room and you have the chats going, and then there are other private chats also going. What advice would you give to students, especially who are using virtual platforms and have, let's say, colleagues or other teachers bullying them through, that platform? What advice would you give to them?
When it comes to Zoom or in classroom, as we said, when we are even face to face, we get people who bully us on a daily basis. Well, I have been a victim of bullying when I was young. I had an adult who would bully me, meet me in school, and just start beating me for no reason.
Wow.
Until one day I called her out, and that was the end of it. So it's the same way that parents should know the times that their words get on the internet should be controlled. If the children are supposed to have a particular time, there should be a code, or something should be the tech guys or the tech people will understand. Maybe there should be a time frame that
That's
parents will be able to monitor the time they spend. Maybe if it's an hour Zoom class, or if it's 2 hour Zoom class, the parents are also being monitored and can be part of the class, so that they know what goes on there. And
okay.
then the teachers must be spoken to. Sometimes it's not even students who bully students, it's teachers who bully students. And if I may even chip that in, recently we've seen teachers videoing kids in classrooms, asking them questions, and they are unable to speak up, and they beat these children, robbing them of their self-esteem and their self-worth, and posting them on the internet. And this is coming from teachers, not even students. So parents should be aware of what is going on the internet. They should
That
be
is
aware.
indeed
Maybe,
worrying.
yes, I have had Honestly, I've had sleepless nights and disturbed thoughts concerning those videos circulating because I don't know what Ghana Education Service is doing about it, that a teacher will video a child asking them questions in class. As a teacher, what you are supposed to know is that every child and their level of understanding. So you do not. If you ask me what the past tense of go is, and I don't even know, or come, and I don't know, you should know each child and their level of understanding in class. You have absolutely no right to video the child and post it on the internet to see how this child, in future, what is that video going to do with the child? You have damaged their reputation, their self-worth, their self-respect and esteem. So I would wish that the education service would do something and call these teachers, find out which schools these things happen, and bring the teachers to book.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yes. And if there's any punishment that should be meted out to them, they need to do that, because you don't do that to an innocent child who cannot protect themselves. And
That's
these
right.
things even happen because I have a friend whose younger brother expressed, he's in the university, started having issues concerning their Zoom class, that whilst they are having their class, others are also talking, and he couldn't handle the pressure that came with it, and how other students will be shouting at each other in a Zoom class.
Disrupting the class.
So if we are, yes, and if we are not able to monitor and regulate things properly, instead of doing good, we might even be doing worse to
No
these
harm.
children who are even trying to, yes, get something for themselves. So regulation is number one. We need to regulate who should speak, and the speaker should always be the one to speak and give audience to the others to be able to talk, so no one feels intimidated or robbed of their
Self-esteem.
self-esteem or their pride, yes, in class. And parents should, if at any point your wards have these tablets, phones, and other things, you should sometimes pick their phones and look at the sites they visit.
Wow.
Research has
It is
research,
interesting.
yeah,
It is interesting that you have
yes,
touched on that, because before our session winds up, I want us to also look critically at that. When there's talk of giving the kids their privacy and all of that, when it comes to this period and this era, what do you think about all of these issues about giving kids their privacy? And sometimes the kids will actually tell you, I won't give you my laptop for you to even go through and look at the history. I do that to my teenage daughter, by the way. Sometimes I will look through the history and say, what have you been, what sites have you been watching or visiting, and what, etc., etc. Because it is important that we sort of follow through on some of these things. Should even the social media platforms have an age limit? And in the pandemic, all schools had to use one form of virtual platform or the other. And we have students below 18 years who are on Instagram and Facebook. I can recall how often I have had to deactivate one of my daughter's accounts, and by the time I realized another has popped up, and I will talk her through the do's and the don'ts and the consequences of not using these platforms rightly. So I'm happy that you have brought to the fore the issue about teachers not going to that extent of videoing the students in class, embarrassing them and causing them to develop a negative self-esteem, which is highly possible. So what would you recommend to the school authorities to do? are they supposed to give parents a sort of list whereby they are holding each other accountable to some sort of privacy, and then also in terms of how they disseminate information after their children have had interactions with them through whether a Zoom classroom or a Teams platform, etc. What would be your recommendation?
Well, thank you. What I would recommend is that I think some of these Zoom meetings can be recorded. So in the process of teaching and all, as the teaching is going on, I think that it can be recorded and be sent to the guardians or parents later to review whatever went on during the Zoom class, so that if anything went wrong and a parent or a guardian does not feel comfortable with, we'll be able to address that. Because if, imagine your child has a Zoom class around 10 a.m. and by then you will be at work and wouldn't be part of that. So
Exactly.
if it's recorded and saved for you, when you get back home, you can replay and then know whatever went on, so that you'll be able to make informed choices for your child. If this is what my child joins, is this good for my child to join every day? You would know what the teacher even does or what
Okay.
other students say when they are online. You understand? So that
Wow.
it wouldn't be as if okay, because they say it's internet and all that, you allow them to do whatever. I think everything should be recorded and be sent to the parents. At the end of the day, each class should be recorded and be sent so that they review it and know what is going on. Did my child even understand what was taught in class during the Zoom class, aside everything that went on? Yes. And also, parents should be involved. Know that, okay, these are the sites. Yes, the lessons that are taught. You should have control of your child's phone. And our laws says that until you are 18, you are still a child. So the fact that you are still living under your parents' roof, you are supposed to be properly monitored and also encouraged and guided to a right path. So if you have a phone, or your ward has a phone or a tablet or a computer or a laptop, whatever they use to get access to the internet, as a parent or guardian, you should have control over that and be able to review sites they join. Research shows that in the United States of America, 59% of teens were bullied on the internet, were cyber bullied, 59. And that was from 2006 to 2016. And it skyrocketed in 2018. So if this is going on, then it means that Instagram is the #1 site where people are bullied. Instagram, followed by Facebook and Snapchat. And these are, with Snapchat, you might not even think that it will be an app where people will be bullied, because mostly people use it to take pictures and post. And it's not as open as
The other side.
as Facebook and Instagram. Yes. So parents should know that. And people aside teenagers or children who are, parents should also know that there are sites that are not meant for children to be on. As you said, we have age groups that are supposed to be there. If a 10-year-old child is on Facebook, they can access every site. They can go everywhere on every page. There are adult pages. This is an app you can put an adult picture there and no one would even know that this is a child. People who suffer most from these bullies are our celebrities, teenagers, and sometimes just ordinary, I wouldn't say ordinary, just we ourselves being there.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not anything harmful, but you trying to share a picture of yourself. Society has kept something for ourselves now that if you're a woman and excuse me to say you don't have big bumps and big boobs, then it means that you are not beautiful. So you post any picture there that is not even supposed to attract insult. People just get at you and start attacking you.
Hmm. And
So
that
if
is
a
all
child
part
of
of the bullying.
13 years, yes, if a child of that age, 13 years, puts a picture online and you see nobody would think that they are children, will come at them. We've had adults who have posted their children, and we've had grown-ups who are supposed to know better come attacking kids. We've had
Indeed.
grown-ups who are supposed to know better come attacking babies. Yes. And so if you're a parent or anything and you find out that your ward has changed in behavior, it's all about communication. You should communicate with your child, find out what is bothering them. And when you do, you should learn to take screenshots of all those things. We are in a world where if someone needs to be arrested, it can be done. So you can't say that you are hiding behind the internet and be bullying people. That
It
person
means
can be arrested.
yes, it means that a lot would also depend on you and those in your profession, so that policies and guidelines will speak to this matter as far as our educational mode of learning is going to be going forward. This would need to be a critical part of the guiding protocols so that both teachers, students, and then parents, that triangle, take responsibility for our behavior, through technology in teaching. So, indeed, it has been a very, very informative session. I know we can go on and on and on because there is so much to talk about. You mentioned
Yes.
during your introduction that our mental wellness also has got to do with our, our nutrition. So just touch a little bit on that. What are the things that we can actually eat to feed our minds and to build that mental strength? Because intermittently we find ourselves in a lockdown period, and I know how that can result into binge eating and simply just going into the fridge every second. I've seen it happen to my kids. What would be your recommendation of something we can eat to help boost our mental capacity? And we will wrap up with that.
Yes, thank you. When we talk about mental wellness, it's not necessarily just having is staying in consciousness that whatever you are doing, it will help you to be balanced. And when we talk about mental well-being or wellness, we are saying that it has 8 dimensions. If we would want to go into that, it would be long. So we will take about just the nutritional aspect. We
That's right.
will, yes, you would being in a state of wellness does not only or feeding the brain to act or to function properly. You need to have a well balanced diet. And when we talk about well balanced diet, someone when you ask what did you eat today, in the morning I had rice and stew, in the afternoon I had fufu, and then this evening I'm going to eat kenke and fish. It's they've not had anything balanced. A well balanced diet includes your vegetables, your um your vegetables, your fruits, and all the other nuts that comes with it, your natural things that you eat to help you build and get nutrients, right? Adequate nutrients to help the brain function properly. So you can have your fruits, a little bit of fruits, a little vegetables, and then your nuts and other things in good portions. Have them in portions appropriate for your body,
All
not
right.
because you can eat. Yes.
So you
So
don't
you
you
can
don't necessarily have to go and carry the whole, I mean, olonka of your granules and chew on it.
no, no,
Definitely, everything in
yeah,
proportion. And I
yes,
mean, it's been an enlightening session having you in the studio. For our viewers, please don't forget to like our Facebook page if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can receive notifications anytime we do come your way with another informative and inspirational session. Our guest has been Jessica Owoo, a registered mental health nurse and wellness consultant. If you would like to reach out to her, just follow the comment section in this particular feed and I will post her details for you to get in touch with her. If you or a child or another adult you know is going through cyberbullying or is experiencing any challenge when it's got to do with your mental health or well-being, please reach out to her and she will give you all that you need for you to become stronger and live a well-balanced life. Any final words before we leave?
and yes, all I would like to tell our viewers is that we are not in normal times. Everyone should stay in consciousness and in wellness and know that this season too will pass. But
That's right.
staying well also depends on you. Yes, a
That's
lot
right.
depends on us now to be well. And we should be responsible, mask up, wash our hands, and also stay well and keep well.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. So, this has been our session for tonight discussing our mental well being and cyberbullying. Let's all continue to stay conscious and continue to be vigilant as far as the usage of the internet is concerned when it comes to our kids and other adults in our household. Until next time, please stick and stay and listen to why the Periscope Horizon chat room is here for you.
Do you have an inspirational, educational, or motivational story to share with us too? What's stopping you? Simply send an email to perisos.horizon@gmail.com. What is the Periscope Horizon chat room about? It's all about you. The Periscope Horizon chat room series, as stated by the initiator and host, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Jifamensa-Lakai, is a platform intentionally here to nurture a culture of celebrating each other's notable milestones. She believes we must not despise our humble beginnings. Instead, we must find a community of like-minded people to support each other, create effective collaborations, and celebrate our small or big success stories. This will encourage us to keep persevering towards our next horizon. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at DTM Patricia Jifamensa-Lakai and like our Instagram and Facebook page at Periscope Horizon. Until next time, keep scaling higher heights.